welcome. Highfalutin Ski Bum Podcast, episode number 280. It is your pals, Mario and Brian. Mario, welcome back. What's up? How you doing?
I feel like a new man. I got bionics in me now. I'm ready to go.
That's right. Good to go. Upgraded. So, beautiful thing. Glad you're back. I know everyone is glad that we are back. So, thank you so much for listening. We do appreciate it. We're going to have a little conversation today on the main topic about inflation. God knows economics and politics.
Brian, did you see this?
Has to seep into everything. Look at that. That is a hat. Watch it on YouTube. Check out Mario's hat. It is an impressive
That's a hat.
It sends
just
a message.
For this podcast.
It sends a message. That's for sure. But yeah, we're just going to talk about, it's early. It's May. Things are, a lot of people are just winding down from the season. But we're going to start taking a look at perhaps how things could be affected going into the next ski season. Because you know what? It's never too early to start talking about ski season when we're in almost ski season.
I worry. If I could hoard like snow, I would do that. If I could hoard snow days, I would do that. Like
snow and gas.
That's just snow days. I don't care. I don't care about anything else. I don't even care about food. Just snow days.
There you go. Well, thank you everyone for listening. We do appreciate it. Check us out, skibumpodcast.com. We are on the socials, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Untapped at Ski Bum Podcast. Go to your favorite podcasting app, rate, subscribe. That would really help us out. Send us an email, skibumpodcast@gmail.com. There's a shop, skibumpodcast.com/shop.
Get some merch.
Get some merch. We got to do some new stuff for the next upcoming season, but we still got some pretty cool stuff in there now. A few things left.
I got something I'm going to send you. Hat. And that might be special order only.
Oh, boy.
I think we teased it, but we didn't reveal.
We need a tailor.
There's a second one coming your way.
There may need some tailoring. Look at that. Beautiful.
See, it's almost like if you have a great piece of jewelry or like a Stanley Cup, you make two Stanley Cups and you put them out. Like, you know what I mean? Like
craftsmanship. Handcrafted. That's right.
Oh yeah. These are custom.
Beautiful.
So I just realized I was like, shit, I didn't send it out. I got to send it out.
Nice.
So
good stuff. So thank you again for listening. And Mario, let's kick things off the way we always do.
It's time for Après Today.
Boom. Just in time. I cracked one open. I don't think I did this one. I think I did the other one from the same company because they had a big sale and I like this beer. And I'm a sale guy. Hey,
beer
look,
sale.
If there's beer on sale, that's marginally okay, but it's a rough week and I just want to have like I'll do it. I don't need to drink craft beer all the time. Like there's
no one is judging you, my friend.
Just saying. So I have a Kona longboard.
Oh, there you go.
So I think last week or the week before I did the Kona Big Wave. Okay. So it was all Kona beers. We're like, buy one 6-pack, get one for free. I mean, I'm giving away I'm losing money if I don't get a Kona now, at that point.
Out of curiosity, where are they brewing now? I know like the original ones are from Hawaii. Where, like, because they definitely opened up
on this bottle. I guarantee it's going to say Hawaii, but that's definitely not
probably like Kentucky or something. Because their stuff is all over the place. And do you know how much it would cost?
It says Fort Collins, Colorado.
There you go.
Portland, Oregon, Portsmouth, Minnesota, and I guess Kona. Look at that.
See, I have drank a Kona beer in Hawaii. Not to brag. This was like a billion years ago.
Before Kona was Kona.
Oh, it was so good. Like you're in Hawaii,
bougie.
Man. You're in Hawaii. Like what else are you going to drink? It's amazing. It was honeymoon. Like,
Yeah, what do they have for Hawaii, like a big drink? Like what's a cocktail? Is it like a Don Ho special? Is it like a tiny bubbles, like in a glass? Like what do you get?
I don't know if it's properly Hawaiian, but at our first hotel at the pool bar, we were drinking, a poi colada. We were drinking Mai Tais. I don't know if a Mai Tai is technically Hawaiian. They are delicious, though.
Is it Thai? Is it?
I don't think it's spelled that way. I think it's Maitai. How do you spell recipe?
Yeah, I'm looking up right now. Just chugging. Oh, yeah. Maitai. What does the name Mai Tai mean? good for excellence, good or excellence.
Yeah.
So the name is taken from Maita, the
From
Tahitian
California.
word for good or excellence, although the drink is usually spelled as two words, sometimes hyphenated or capitalized.
There you go.
Very interesting.
It was
So it's a
invented
drink.
at Trader Vic's in Oakland, California.
Boom.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, what is like if you have getting like a traditional Hawaiian drink? Probably something with rum, you would think, right?
It's got to have a spam chaser.
Coconut.
Little spam in there.
Yeah.
It's like a old fashioned with spam instead of the cherries.
Well, see, here we go. So the Mai Tai became such a popular drink in the 50s and 60s that many restaurants, particularly tiki-themed restaurants or bars, served them. The Mai Tai was also prominently featured in the 1961 Elvis Presley film Blue Hawaii. So there is like a Hawaiian connection to the Mai Tai.
Huh.
Yeah.
I'm looking up traditional Hawaiian cocktails.
So if you want to make a Mai Tai,
and they're saying the Mai Tai is most well known for Hawaii.
there you go. See, so I was drinking properly even back then.
Mai Tai is number one. They have a countdown list here.
Oh.
What cocktails is Hawaii known for? The top 5 that we love: Mai Tai, Blue Hawaii, Hawaiian Margarita, Lava Flow, and the Mango Martini.
What, pray tell, is a Hawaiian margarita?
I don't know. I got to see what that is.
I'm intrigued. But if you're looking for a Mai Tai, here's the ingredients: 30 milliliters amber Jamaican rum, 30 milliliters Martinique molasses rum, 15 milliliters orange curacao, 15 milliliters orgeat syrup, whatever the hell that is,
What
30
the
milliliters
hell?
of fresh lime juice, and 7.5 milliliters of simple syrup. What's a milliliter? I don't know. We're American. Tell us ounces.
American.
America.
All right, Hawaiian Margarita. We got.
Your coconut
I'm
involved?
not even gonna say the
Brand.
the measures. I'm just say there's tequila, triple sec, lilikoi puree, purchased or pureed from fresh fruit. I have no idea what lilikoi lilikoi puree. What's a lilikoi?
Lilikoi puree. I have no idea.
What the hell?
Oh boy.
Okay, so they dust it with red Lil Hing Mu powder. I have no idea what the fuck that is. They're saying it's a tart, sweet, salty dust made with pulverized dried Asian plums that pairs perfectly with this luau drink. So lilikoi puree, then you got lime juice, simple syrup, garnish, and then the powder, the Lihing Mui powder. Very interesting.
It seems like you're getting pretty much a regular margarita, but you're using pineapple juice and coconut water.
See, I think if I ordered some of these drinks that are on here at a bar, they'd slap the shit out of me. They'd be like, "We don't." Number one, we don't have these ingredients, and number two, it's going to take a while to make them.
It just seems like a pain in the ass. Just get a beer. I got
the
that's why I just got the Kona. Like, wonderful.
Exactly.
Get a Kona.
They have one called the Lava Flow, right? It's muddle in the bottom of a shaker.
Oh, there's muddling involved. Like, forget it. I'm already out. Too much work.
Same muddle. Strawberries hulled. What's a hulled strawberry? What do you mean strawberry?
Why are you using weird verbs? When you start using weird verbs, like instead of just pour, like then you got a problem.
A 2-inch slice of fresh banana. You got to measure this thing?
Fuck. I got a muddle. I got a hull. I got to measure. Like, forget it. I'm already done. I'm already done.
If it's not a beer, if it doesn't come out of the tap, shut the fuck up and pick something else.
Like, it's so much work.
Like, as a bartender, so think about it. Like, if you go to like a speakeasies usually have some really good cocktail crafts people, right? They make some really cool drink. That's what they're for, right? You go to speakeasy, cocktail. What do they call them?
Mixologist,
yes, certified mixologist,
certified.
Right? Not the guy at the DJ booth, but
you went to a 4-hour course, like you were officially
got a certificate.
You're almost credentialed like a doctor, pretty much in the alcohol world,
unless you're knighted, and then you're Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
But then you only like big butts. You don't like drinks,
and you cannot lie.
God damn,
no one knows. Actually, in the lyrics, I like big butts, period. I cannot lie. Like George Washington.
That's right. I
It's
chopped down
two
the tree. I
separate
like big butts.
phrases.
Boom. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
It's truth. It's reality.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're like a mixologist, right? You get your little degree, and you go to a bar, and all you're doing is serving fucking like PBRs. Aren't you gonna like freak out one day? Like, I can't muddle shit. I can't muddle anything in the PBR. Like,
It's like
Bud
going to
Light,
Harvard.
that's
It's
it.
like going to Harvard, getting some crap degree, and then working like Chipotle.
That's right.
Right? Nothing wrong with
Where'd you go to
Chipotle,
school at?
but you went to Harvard. You think you're gonna do a little better.
Like, dude, I went to Votech. Where'd you go? Harvard.
Harvard.
Dude, you work for me. Like, you're the second in command of the rolling of the goddamn Chipotle.
I went to the Harvard Burrito Academy.
That's right. Advanced Harvard Burrito Academy.
I was summa cum laude. Cilantro cum laude.
I worked at the Chipotle by Harvard. Boom. He's a Harvard grad.
Harvard grad.
You know the people I networked?
Harvard people took dumps in a toilet that I cleaned. So, ipso facto, I kind of am a man of Harvard.
Smartest shits in the world.
That's right.
Smartest little shits in the world. And that's just it from the toilet, from the Dukes.
So I'm glad you're enjoying your delicious Hawaiian libation there.
I feel like I need a Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah.
And a luau.
There you go. Little poi.
Little poi. All right, what do you got there, Brian? Is it as good as the trip to Hawaii we just took?
Oh, not at all. Not even close. But I am in California hanging out in my beverage, of course, in the app right today, not where I actually am in my usual basement in Jersey, like the goddamn Bruce Springsteen song Life that I live right now. And recently
in my basement in Jersey.
Yeah. So things have changed a lot in the last couple months. I thought for a second that I was going to retire in March and have be able to have money, and then war broke out and everything just crashed and fuck this and fuck that. And I can't even go and buy booze anymore. I don't have any money. Like, I have no money. Like, I just have to sit in my basement and fucking just get through it.
Dude, crypto shit the bed. Everything's up and down.
It's just been bad. So this week was Mother's Day. Wonderful day. Happy Mother's Day. Post-apocalyptic Mother's Day to everyone who's a mother listening to this. All four of you.
Happy to all the mothers.
Happy.
That's for sure.
So my mom came and she brought a bottle of wine. And this bottle would have remained closed and prepared and waited for another day, another lovely dinner. But my wife decided to make this delicious pasta, like bolognese sauce yesterday.
Boom.
And
nice.
Being a proper Italian like my wife is, had to put a little bit of wine in there. So
I like it.
What wine did we have floating around? The one that Mom just brought.
Wow.
What did Mom bring? She brought a Francis Coppola Merlot.
Nice.
Now,
a little bit of the Godfather in there, right?
A little bit of Godfather, a little bit of Sideways. I'm not drinking any fucking Merlot. Apparently, I am drinking Merlot.
That's right. Merlot's delicious, though.
I got no problem with Merlot. It's not, but again, you get that little Sideways bit. You go to like a store, you're like,
fuck that.
I'm not buying Merlot. I'm getting Cabernet.
Fuck the marketing. I don't care.
Pinot Noir, like a proper gentleman.
Well, Pinot Noir is disgusting. I would wash my dookies down with that. I hate Pinot Noir. I got to say, in my life, there's one, maybe two Pinot Noirs in my entire life I've tasted that I actually would drink again. Everything else, nope.
It's a little dry, Pinot Noir. But I prefer the big boldness of Cabernet. That's sort of the kind of guy I am. Nice steak, nice Cabernet. Like, that's like being a fucking man. You feel like Tony Soprano when you got your Cabernet and your freaking steak.
See, I don't even go in America anymore. I'm either Tuscan Italian or I'm fucking Syrah. Like, I don't know, like other.
Isn't that like Australian?
Yeah.
Syrah?
Australia, New Zealand. Just, I'm out there.
Yeah.
I came to it.
Well, this Merlot, it's good. I mean, it's drinkable. I like it. Thing is, it was opened yesterday. So I'm like, we got one of those little like aerator tops, where it takes all the air out of it. But
yeah,
it doesn't really work so well. It's not going to be as sealed as it was when it came corked.
You open it, you drink it.
This is again, this is where I'm at right now in my life. I got to drink this now because it's not getting better as the air is getting into it. So,
well, that's like you get a nice gift from somebody. You guys got a bottle, right? Why not use that bottle? Use it in your food. You should drink the wine with the food that you made with it. Like, it pairs well, right? It kind of.
I'm really trying to dial back my drinking. And but again, I had to go to it today because the bottle was open. I mean, what's the point? Back a few weeks ago well, here's the thing. On Easter, same kind of dilemma. We had a handle of a lovely, actually it wasn't that lovely. It was a pretty mediocre Malbec, but it was a handle. So it was a big ass bottle of wine.
Big ass bottle.
Big ass bottle. So we had probably like 4 or 5 glasses out of it. And then I used that little airy top thing and put it in the fridge. But it had been out for like 4 or 5 days after that. And then it went in the fridge and we popped it open like a couple weeks later. And it was just like,
it goes bad. It starts going skunked.
Gross. Like it was like worse than vinegar gross. So
you go like 3-4 days and you're starting to risk like some really flavor changing funk. Yeah.
Wine funk.
Wine funk.
Wine funk.
We just had that the other day. We had a bottle that we opened up. We drank half the bottle and let it sit there. Sat for a week. So we opened it up yesterday. I drank a little. I'm like, getting a little funky, but whatever. I'll drink it. And Melanie's like, nope. Right there, poured it right down.
Boom, down the
drain.
Open
a new bottle. I'm like, what do you mean? You poured yourself some? You didn't pour me? She's like, I thought you liked the funk. I'm like, no, I don't like it. I would drink it if that was all that was available. But I'm not a heathen. I'm not an animal.
Well, that's how you know, like, that's when things are really dark. When you got to like hold your nose and like chug it, you're like, I'm not going to waste this. Like,
I'm not wasting this goddamn thing.
That's dark times. That's like, hey man, I can pretend it's not a dick. I'll just close my nose. I gotta pay the rent.
So you just ran out of toilet paper using like dish towels. Like, I don't know what's going on.
Old sock, perhaps.
Just holding your nose, just fucking drinking that shitty wine down. It's wine.
Dark times. You know, and we're moving possibly into dark times. So this is the kind of mindset you got to have. You got to be prepared so that when crazy stuff goes down, you're ready. You're prepared.
Mix that shit with grapefruit juice, and you're gonna drink it down. But like, oh, it's great. It's delicious.
These summer babes, man, they don't realize hardship. They don't know what winter is really like.
That's right.
So, drinking this wine, hell or high water, this wine's getting drunk one way or another. So,
that's good.
Yeah.
Well, at least you're enjoying it when it should be enjoyed, right? Like. You know, I got a bunch of bottles of wine that we got when we went to Italy skiing. We went to Barolo. We got a bunch of Barolos. They're sitting in the cabinet, and they're like, you know how they have this like really weird curve where they're great in like another 10 years, and I'm like, I don't really know.
Be dead in 5 years. I don't know what Putin's doing.
I'm not betting on myself to be alive. Like, I want to drink that motherfucker now. So we're talking to the guy in the winery, and he's like, oh, you should drink them right now. He's like, because you don't know
immediately.
He's like, you don't know when you're going to be able to drink them. You know, you plan. It's like putting in a safe. Put in a safe. You die. People are like, I don't know what this is. I'm going to throw it out.
Bodie's going to fucking drink it.
That's right.
His buddies.
They're like, oh, this is just like, you know, just throw it away. Like, it's ridiculous.
That's what my goddamn sister did. My parents bought all this like fancy champagne. They were in France. They were in the Champagne region. This is like the 70s, I guess, early 80s. They bought this fancy champagne. They had it saved for years. Damn. And then my sister, when she's all like 16, 17, like, oh my God, my parents have my champagne. And like she took bottles.
She's like,
friggin' Saber, just like
Saber that shit.
She had no idea. She wanted to get hammered with her dumb friends.
Like, I got hammered.
Took this fancy
Christian Brothers
champagne.
brandy. The worst thing in the fucking world you get hammered on. Football party, high school. First and worst hangover I ever had. God damn, it was bad.
Christian Brothers brandy.
Puking. Like, I had no foundation. That was it. I went from drinking Peels and fucking whatever I could steal out of the fridge to, hey, let me just pound some Christian Brothers brandy and think I'm not going to puke.
That's a rough one.
Yeah. I think about it now. I'm like, God damn.
Dark times, my friend.
It's dark. Yeah. Dark. Popping bottles like that, though, I couldn't even imagine.
That's what happens. You just got to drink them. You can't let them wait forever, you know?
That's right. I just went this week to Costco. Actually, yesterday, Costco got a case of champagne. You know why?
Look at you.
Champagne happens. No. Champagne happens in this house. I'm
every day. Every
buyer at Costco.
Saturday. Every Saturday should be a celebration.
I got to say, right? we're getting a case like every 2 or 3 weeks. It's bad.
You're living the dream, my friend.
Well, we gotta tone shit down. Like Sid and Liz Vicious right now.
Sid and Nancy.
Sid and Nancy Vicious.
Sid and Nancy living it up.
Fucking living it up like the ship is going down.
Yeah. Well, we actually have a story while in the app today.
All right.
I saw this. I don't know if I buy it.
What you got?
Kind of interesting. The people at Yelp. I don't know who works at Yelp. I don't know why you want to work at Yelp.
Yeah.
But they decided to put up a list. The top brewery in every state in the U.S.
Really?
Now, I thought we should hit a few of these because a few of these have places we've been to, obviously. We'll focus, of course, in the ones that are in wonderful ski towns. Now, actually, the first one, we'll start with Alabama, which is a crazy place to start. Good People Brewing. Many moons ago, our pal Rich, All About Après, came and brought some beers. They actually have I think it's called like Skis and Jeans or something, because there's a tiny little like nothing, but it does exist hill to ski in Alabama, and they do a special winter beer. I think it's called Skis and Jeans or something. I don't know if it's an every year thing, but I thought that was kind of cool because that reminded me of that beer that we had. Alaska, you got Devil's Club Brewing. Colorado, Breckenridge, Broken Compass Brewing.
What the fuck is that?
What do you think about that? Delicious. Now, Mario, Florida. Where La Morta?
This La Morada is like, that's fucking far. That's not even near civilization. I think that's the Keys.
Yeah, because it's Florida Keys Brewing.
The fuck out of here. This is like a wish list of places you want to go visit.
Well, that's the thing about this list. It's like,
let's look at New Jersey. Mercantville.
I don't even know where that is.
I
think it's near Philly.
Where the fuck is that?
Philly or something. It's one of those places they make four beers and like they sell out in like 4 minutes because like some guy is like this like hippie genius who makes this amazing beer, like one of those kind of things.
So it's basically they sell out in 1 hour, and the two hippie geniuses drink their beer in their own garage next to each other. That's it. Great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Idaho, Coeur d'Alene, Daft Badger Brewing. That sounds awesome. I want to check that place out. How about Maine? Allagash Brewing. It's pretty solid.
I was just in Utah. I looked down there. I'm like, Keto's Brewing. I'm like, where the fuck is that? I didn't hear any of that when I was down there.
Here's a bizarre one to me. Massachusetts. Samuel Adams Brewery. Now, I still don't understand how Sam Adams can be a craft brewery.
Exactly. You jumped the shark. You can't be craft.
Here's the list. So they put this list out because
they try to say they're big, but they're craft.
Well, here we go.
Bigger.
Beginning the week of May 16th, it is American Craft Beer Week. I did not get the memo, but this is good to know. Here's the thing they're saying. If you're asking what makes a beer a craft beer, according to the Brewers Association, for a brewer's beer to be considered craft beer, they must have 3 attributes, and by definition, be small, independent, and be a brewer.
Small, independent brewer. Okay.
In the craft beer world, small means an annual production of less than 6 million barrels a year. Which Boston Beer makes a lot of freaking beer.
But do they separate their brands as different beers, though?
That's what I'm wondering. They're going to have to fall under this, yeah. Independent means that less than 25% of the brewery is controlled by a beverage alcohol industry member that is not itself a craft brewer.
So you could be 23% owned by InBev and still be okay.
Bingo.
That's what I'm saying.
We're getting into semantics here. That's for sure. And a brewer meaning that they have a TTB brewer's notice and make beer.
Whatever that means.
This seems like
I got to ask. Washington, D.C., Other Half Brewing, aren't they out of Brooklyn?
They are the original. Well, the original one is, but they did another one.
What the fuck? They can't be listed out of Brooklyn and Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
Come on, Yelp.
I got some other weird ones on here too. Let's see. Nevada, Imbibe Custom Brews in Reno. That's kind of cool. Mario, here you go. New Hampshire, Schilling Beer out of Littleton.
I think I may have seen it. I never drank it though. I don't think I drank it. Or if I did, it was horrible because I had a few beers that were horrible that I don't remember the names of. I got them at Whole Foods, you know.
There you go. That
They have
craft
they have
beer.
a tap room at Whole Foods. That's the one up there.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
I love that.
The Schilling beer, 4.5 stars on Yelp, 439 reviews. So right on the river. Seems pretty cool.
All
Yeah,
right.
Jersey Eclipse Brewing. I've never heard of them. Then again,
Where
I'm not the
are
guy
they?
anymore to know all this stuff. New Mexico, Truth or Consequences Brewing.
Hmm.
That sounds pretty awesome. Is in the town of Truth or Consequences, New Mexico. That's a pretty badass name for a town.
See, what I don't understand is why is everybody using Yelp as like a source? It's like Yelp is like an opinion thing. It's not a, hey, we're an independent group of people.
Well, Yelp sort of, I mean, theoretically it's supposed to be
Crowdsource
like
it,
a
right?
crowdsourcing of ideas.
Yeah, but what if everybody's a bunch of assholes and they don't know beer, right? Like if you drink mainly ciders and you're rating it like a 5, like you're a fucking idiot. Like I don't want that rating in there. I want to throw it out. Like
Yeah.
that's the Russian judge. Let's throw that shit out.
I don't know if they took like the highest rated ones, like the highest rated in each state and did this. They don't say that. They don't put a
I want to
criteria.
know.
I'm just a sucker for a list. I love me a list, especially when
Is
you
this-
just by state.
They should just be more transparent and say, these are the people we're pushing on Yelp.
That's
And that's
probably
it. Like
Yep.
just that would be fine. If they said that, I'd be like, great. At least it's
Now I know
A-list.
where you're coming from. I know what your
Yeah.
agenda is. Oregon, Bend, Boneyard Beer.
Boneyard.
Boneyard, Utah. You said Ketos Brewing? You weren't a
Yeah.
fan?
I never heard of them.
Never heard of them.
But I don't know if I was in the wrong part of Utah. I was in Ogden. That's it.
Goddamn wrong part of Utah.
You know, somebody in
Vermont.
Utah is probably fucking yelling at me right now, going like, "You idiot! You were right there."
People in Utah don't yell. They're kind. They listen.
They would talk sternly to me, I think, and I would feel like they were yelling.
Yeah. You go full Puerto Rican on them.
That's right.
Break a glass bottle.
Or I just
Try to stab 'em.
cry,
All right.
or just
Yeah.
cry. Just be like, "You hurt my feelings. I'm sorry."
Do what you got to do.
What you gotta do.
Vermont, The Alchemist. I have no problem with that.
That one I got. I got that. That's good.
I have
But
no
then
problem
again,
with
who
that.
else are they going to pick in Vermont to not be called out, right?
Dude, you could choose a lot of spots and not get called out.
Then again, I would be curious
Foam,
to see
Burlington,
Alchemist-
Lawson's.
if the Alchemist was on the list 5 years ago. I want to know. I bet you it wasn't even on their list.
Perhaps.
I like foam. Foam's pretty good.
Foam's great. Washington, Seattle, Georgetown Brewing Company, and Wyoming, 10 Sleep Brewing Company. There you go. It's a fun little
Nice.
list. We'll link her up in the old show notes if you want to look at your state and see what the top brewery is according to this lady at Yelp who wrote the article.
So let me ask
Have
you a
some fun
question,
with it.
because you would probably know this. Focal Banger from the Alchemist.
Yeah.
Is that sold in stores now,
Yeah, I mean,
or at the brewery?
it's for sure at the brewery, but
'Cause remember how like weird it was to get back in the day?
well, that's because it was still new. I mean, originally they were only making Heady Topper. Like that was like their only beer for their first, 5-6 years in existence. And then Focal Banger was the second one, and then it all sort of spiraled into madness like it is now.
Yeah, it's funny. So, Beer Advocate has their top trending beers,
Mm-hmm.
and trending, not good or not rating wise, they're saying Heady Topper is trending number 9, and Focal Banger is number 21. So I guess that's the 21st, 20, and the 9th trend, like top trending.
Yeah.
So it's pretty interesting. Like it's still trending, like especially for Heady Topper.
You know what? It's one of those beers, man. It's legendary. And a
Yeah.
lot of folks, because again, they're starting to expand their brewing where it's being shipped to. People can get it in more spots. So you don't have to be a craft beer psychopath and have to go all the way up to Stowe if you live in like Georgia to get it.
But you should be. You should be.
Dedication to the game.
Hey, if you want to get any Hill Farmstead, you better be. That's all I'm saying.
That one
Boom.
could have easily made the list.
I'm throwing the freaking gauntlet out.
Yeah,
Why
some
did that not
places-
make the list?
Some places you can find Hill Farmstead. I know a buddy in Philly for years they had it down there. New York City, some places have it. You know, there's
Yeah. Well, now New York City gets it because New York City.
Everybody wants to get paid.
Everybody wants to get. That's right.
You know?
It's a dude with a truck, and he picks it up and dries it down.
There you go. So that wraps up the app parade today.
Let's go to ski news.
So there's ski news still happening in mid-May. Everybody knows that. How about the good folks at the Indy Pass? Now, this is a weird one. We got to talk through this one because I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. They've added a resort tier for discounted lift tickets. So they have a new category of resorts called Indy Allied Resorts, which will offer discounted lift tickets to Indy Pass holders.
Huh.
So this means it's not like you get the two free included in all the Indy resorts. This is a discount program affiliated with your Indy Pass. So we got Basquiat in Massachusetts, Burke Mountain in Vermont, home of the famed Burke Mountain Academy, Dartmouth Skyway in New Hampshire, McIntyre Ski Area in New Hampshire. Did I say Skyway or Skiway? Skiway, right?
Skiway.
Dartmouth Skiway. Okay. Middlebury College Snow Bowl, which I still have not been to, but I've heard is pretty fun. Nice. And Whaleback Mountain in New Hampshire.
Whaleback.
Good old Whaleback. Lift tickets will be discounted by 25% on holidays and weekends from December 24th through March 12th, 2023, and by 50% on all other days. Indy Pass holders must show ID at the ticket window in order to purchase their lift tickets. There is a limit of one non-transferable lift ticket per day per Indy Pass holder. Allied Resorts' unrestricted season pass holders are eligible to purchase Indy add-on passes, which are discounted up to 30%. Season pass holders can purchase the add-on pass at indyskipass.com, upload a photo or season pass for verification. A season pass upload verification is not required at the time of purchase. That's kind of cool. So another layer of Indy Pass goodness.
Nice.
And what's cool about that is it's, again, these smaller mountains who may not want to be completely affiliated and may not, because I guess there's like, what is it? Not a payback system. What do they call it? Where it's almost, remember, like there's a term that they used. And then that other resort out in the other Colorado Pass was doing the same thing.
Like a reciprocal thing?
Reciprocal, yeah. Like they reciprocated the way they get paid.
They will bifurcate the
the homologization
of the industry
is
causing us to have to bifurcate our reciprocation.
So now, if you had an Indy Pass and you hit up you got your days all in at your mountains that were local to you, having this option, if you're in the Northeast, I mean, just bonus 50% off days, which is pretty cool. Now,
put the bone back in bonus. You know what I'm
saying? A to the O. So it says one non-transferable lift ticket per day per Indy Pass holder. So does that mean there's no limit on the number of times you could use it at a resort? So say it's
not transferable though, right?
Not transferable, right? But if you're at Burke for like 5 days, could you get 50% off days if you're like Monday through Friday?
It says on all other days.
That
doesn't even say a limit.
Yeah.
Oh, limit of one non-transferable.
Right, per day.
Per day. Right.
So it doesn't seem like there's a limit.
You can keep going.
Keep going. Keep it going, baby. I like that. That's pretty cool.
Half off season pass. Right?
What's that?
Half off season pass. That's it.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Like half off season pass. Season window pass.
Does it say that in there?
That's kind of essentially what it is, right? If you get half off for the rest of the season right there.
Depends how many days you go.
Exactly.
You got to do that math there. You got to figure out exactly how many days you're going to be at the place. And you go, do I buy the resort, like the season pass from the resort, or do I buy the Indy Pass and use it there?
And get your 50% off. You're half off and go other places. And
there is some math to be done if you want to do this right.
Pretty good though. I like
Yeah.
it. All right, next up, Colorado snowpack is melting at a ridiculous rate. So
That's not good.
they're saying the snowpack in the mountains is melting too quickly, and they're saying it's worsening drought and wildfire conditions. And if we haven't seen what's going on in the news right now, you had New Mexico blowing up with wildfires, and now California again. So I don't know. Like they're trying to do the pre-read on the drought and fire time of year, which is coming up quickly. But they're saying that Colorado didn't see enough snow this winter to fully recover from the ongoing mega drought. And now the snow state did see melting too quickly. So they're saying it's melting at a quick rate, but they also haven't had the snow on top of that snow, which they usually get. So it's kind of compounding the whole situation.
Yeah, there's just a fire today that was they said was near Evergreen.
Oh, really?
I-70. Yeah, just today. Again, I don't know how big it was. I think Boulder had one a few weeks ago. I mean, it's scary out there right now.
Damn. So they're saying they should have had about 8.5 inches of snowpack, and they said they're at 2 inches. So, about a quarter of what they are expecting as a normal snowpack rate. So it's a lot less water in that area, snow and water. So they're saying it's very dry, and it's affecting plant life. It's affecting just they're saying it's going to affect later on in the year potentially some dryness and drought levels.
Yeah, they're saying that as the snow melts, some of the state's waterways like the Colorado, Gunnison, Rio Grande, and San Juan rivers might see a short-lived uptick, but ultimately below average flows in water. The severity of those conditions will depend on whether Colorado sees more colder temperatures and additional snow in the coming weeks. And they said, but neither of those are on the horizon. Yeah, which is bad. Damn. But yeah, that 8.5 inches where they should be to only have 2.
Big difference, man.
Oof, that's bad.
And it's just weird. Like I don't live in a super heavily wooded area, so when I see these stories on TV, I'm always amazed. I'm like, oh, how does this happen? But there are areas like we're very fortunate in this country to have like wide open spaces, and there's wide open spaces of forest that just if they're dried out, like you don't realize, and it's a tinderbox waiting to go up. It's crazy.
Well, so this article is from the Denver Post, and one of the most popular stories, number 6, Colorado Springs Airport prepares for possible evacuation as multiple wildfires burn around the city.
Damn.
Oof, that's scary. So, yeah, things are looking kind of dark out in Colorado right now. So hopefully they get some more snow or some rain or something, because it could be an ugly spring summer out there.
Well, they're getting a snow show back, right?
No, it's leaving Denver and going back to Salt Lake.
It's going back to Salt Lake.
Back to Salt Lake.
That. Like it's all doom and gloom.
And dude, Salt Lake, Alta had 19 inches of snow this week.
Boom.
Just putting that out there.
Just
so Colorado being like, hey man, Colorado's the best. Are you getting 19 inches of snow the second week in May?
I gotta say,
no, you're not.
Bill and I went to Utah this year. We had a great freaking time.
Utah checks a lot of boxes, and they're going to announce this summer. We've talked about it in the past, what they're going to do about Little Cottonwood, if they're going to put in that gondola. And they're saying the gondola, they're talking about gondola, additional bus lanes, or something else.
Is Cog Train? Cog Train.
Did they say Cog Train? They might have said Cog Train.
I don't know. I think in my mind I wanted to hear Cog Train. I think they were talking about it when they were talking about the lift.
Yeah, instead. But they are saying the gondola is kind of leading as the most likely solution.
Dude, I did Ober-Gatlinburg. You 2 miles from there, you gondola out, boom, you're right in the lodge. It was awesome.
You're like living in the future when you have a gondola in your town.
And all start at Ober-Gatlinburg.
Ober-Gatlinburg. They're the first. Definitely not the Alps.
Not the Alps. Fuck the Alps.
Ober-Gatlinburg. They ripped off Ober-Gatlinburg.
Oh, that's right.
They went to go to Dollywood. They saw it. They said, we're going to do this over here. This is a great idea.
It went from Obergatlinburg to Oberammergau. That's it. That's
Pretty much.
it. You know, they named it after Obergatlinburg.
Yep.
That was the first one.
And we got one more story here in the good old ski news. How about big snow? How about big snow? We had that big fire. I think it was back in September-ish.
Big fire is not good advertisement for big snow.
Fire. No. That is not what big
emulating what's happening out in the wilderness right now. Is they had a big fire after the big Colorado fires right now.
Perhaps New Jersey is sort of the harbinger for Colorado. So we have a big fire in New Jersey at the Snow Dome, and now the fires are happening out in Colorado.
So I think of a fire out in Colorado. I think of like wilderness burning, like, you know, like a lot of nature being destroyed and like animals running. When I think of a fire in New Jersey, I think of a fucking dumpster on fire and rats running from it. That's all I think.
And a large Cadillac driving away with its lights off. Perhaps.
Forget about
it.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Big snow, baby. They have announced the Snow Dome will be reopening May 27th. That awesome. Is roughly 2 weeks away. It's the Friday before Memorial Day weekend.
Just in time to get ready for football season.
USFL? Is that happening?
USFL is being played in Alabama, Birmingham.
It's already happening.
All games, Birmingham.
Been paying such close attention, I didn't even realize that.
But isn't it weird? So that's the first season. XFL starts next year, and then USFL, I think, is going to expand to the host cities that they're supposed to be in.
That's gonna that's like so ridiculous. It could be like, hey, the Hartford Wolf Dogs. It's like, yeah, they're playing Alabama. Like, what does it matter if they're the Hartford Wolf Dogs or the
where's everybody playing? Alabama. Exactly.
All playing in the same spot. Does it really matter what town you're from?
Exactly. It's just ridiculous. There's a Tampa team. I'm like, I don't even know when they play because they're not local. So they're not even on the same time zone. I think isn't it an hour
Tampa
behind?
Bay Bandits?
Who knows? I don't know. Dude, anyway. I saw on the news today they had a Mustang. It was a 7-Eleven Mustang, and it was like designed with like the paint and everything with 7-Eleven.
Oh, it was like, I saw it's a one-off special edition they did, yeah.
It was so ridiculous. And you know, we have a 15-year-old in the house and he loved it. He's like, oh, this is great. That's great. I'm like, dude, I'm going to get you the Tampax Ferrari. It's going to be pink and you're going to ride that. You're going to love it. And he's like, oh, no, I don't want that. I'm like, exactly. Why would you want a fucking 7-Eleven?
Like, dude, these really? Go for like $400,000 in auction. So don't even worry about it.
I just think it's so stupid. Like what? I don't know. And then they have a tagline on it. It says, speedy and snacks with speed or something like that. It's like some stupid tag. I'm like, whatever. I hate myself for even thinking of the tagline and giving it play. Like it's
built bad. For speed and snacks. Need for Slurpee.
Oh, so stupid.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that Tampax Ferrari is not short. It's coming up soon.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I'm not a fan, but I am a fan of Big Snow reopening May 27th. I bought a freaking 10 pass thing last summer and I've used it once.
So what happened with the 10 pass? Did they postpone it? Like what'd they do?
I have to look. I think they said they were
going to rectified or are you going to get fied in the rectum is what you're getting?
Something's going to get fied.
Are you getting in the rectum or are you going to get rectified? That's what I think
rectify is going to happen. Well, Hopefully. They were saying that they were going to, so whatever period they were closed, like say it was
right.
Let's say it was like you had a year to use it. And I think they were going to just tack on however long they were closed. So September through May, whatever, what's that? 7 months, 8 months.
As long as you get to use it, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was $200 for 10 trips. That was pretty good.
That's not bad.
And I still have my son's demo or rental skis from the seasons, and he's free because he's under 6, so I can take him a couple times this summer. That's the plan.
Dude, that's so awesome for a little kid too.
Oh, for sure. I remember the first time I went there with him. It was because it was like peak COVID. No, was it even COVID? Yeah, it was. It was like COVID insanity. They had all these ridiculous like sheets of plastic up. They had to go in certain directions.
Jeez.
It was idiotic. But as soon as you walked through the door, like he like looked up and was like, oh, like this is awesome. And there's like a little house at the top where I guess it's like the lift operating and stuff. He's like, does Santa Claus live there? I'm like, yeah,
Oh,
dude.
that's
Like
so
Santa
cute.
Claus lives there.
Dude,
Yeah, it's
if
pretty cool.
if they're listening, they should put a freaking Santa Claus up there. Like, you got to get a ticket, kid, to see Santa Claus.
That's a
Boom.
great goddamn idea.
Right? Mommy and daddy paying $20 a pop, get you up to the top of that lift to see Santa Claus.
We are a think tank at this podcast. We really are.
I just want a percentage. I just want to cut.
I just want to be like on retainer as an idea guy. Like I want to be an on
like that
retainer
idea.
idea guy.
Retainer idea guy.
Yeah.
If anybody has a think tank and wants Mario O'Brien to shake shit up, we will do that for you.
We're like a ski think tank, like a skink tank.
Skink tank.
Not a skank tank.
We're
And actually,
skink tank.
that actually was one of my ideas this past weekend.
Skank tank.
Dude, skank tank.
Dude, that's
Think
no
about-
worse than Temptation Island.
No, think about it. Think about it. This is the home, the
Like the
nice.
Bachelor and the Bachelorette merged together.
No. This is the direction I'm going with this. Everybody hates SeaWorld, right? Because of what it does to animals. Now imagine you get a bunch of reformed sex workers and you teach them to be dolphin trainers.
There you go.
Skank tank.
Skank tank.
They can help train the dolphins and the killer whales and stuff.
No, they could be mermaids.
Boom. See?
They dress
Think
up in
tank.
the mermaid thing. Skank tank.
It doesn't have to be totally slutty,
Think
but
tank,
it could
skank
be.
tank.
It could be like a strip club SeaWorld. It's like, yeah, I want to see some chicks, but I like animals. I like the water animals.
Where are we going this year, family? Oh, let's go to SeaWorld.
Skank tank.
Skank tank.
I
Daddy's
thought we were
gotta
going
see
to
the skank tank.
SeaWorld, Daddy.
You know, Daddy likes the skank tank. Skeet skeet.
There was a Groupon. We're going to Skank Tank. It's close enough.
He's like, skeet skeet, you two. Get on around. We got to get to the skank tank.
Oh my god! And like, what would like the champagne room? Like, what would that be? Like the Shamu room? Oh my god!
Oh man!
I'm just saying, there's potential there. We live in
Shampoo room.
very bizarre times.
It's
We need to start
horrible.
thinking outside the box.
The shampoo room.
The Shamu room.
Shampoo room.
Skank Tank. I'm
Skank
telling you,
tank.
potential. It's gonna open next year. I guarantee it. Probably in Florida. Why not?
In Florida. It's gonna be part of Disney. The
Yep.
other part of Disney you never wanted to know.
Dark side of Disney.
Next to the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
the
The
Mandalorian.
Skankalorean.
The Mandalorian touch tank. The touch and feel exhibit.
Yeah. Well, speaking of touching and feeling, we're gonna roll into our main topic.
Boom.
And I saw something come up this week on the ski chat that I belong to, and people are very concerned about gas prices. Obviously, gas is going crazy. Diesel's over like $6 a gallon in the area, probably even worse. My sister-in-law was out in California for a traveling nurse gig, and she just got back to the East Coast. She was paying over $6 for regular gas, and she had a
Damn.
Wrangler, so it gets terrible gas mileage anyway.
But why
And-
didn't you just go out and buy an electric vehicle like everybody said to?
Drop 60 grand. And you know what? There's tons of them everywhere because the supply chain for electric is not affected
it's-
at all.
It's
Obviously,
great, right? Yeah.
not affected at all. I mean,
Isn't
batteries.
there a rebate you get for that? So you
just
instead of
make
60 grand, it's only 20 or
lithium ion batteries. You pretty much can take Legos and make batteries out of them. They just come, out of nowhere.
Awesome.
You can
Out
take
of-
existing things and you have a battery, of course, right?
there's like a Lego chicken that makes the Lego batteries and it comes right out of their ass and
It's
boom, right in the car.
all magic and wonderful electric. Nothing
Yeah.
bad about it at all. It's cheap, it's easy, no problem, right?
No problem.
So yeah, I mean, think about that now. Gas is bad now everywhere. I remember the worst I saw it was I took a trip to Hunter Mountain up in New York, and I, for some reason, decided to stop on the throughway to get gas. And I think I paid
gotcha.
$4.59 for regular, and my car
if you're on
leaks
the throughway-
gas, which is even worse.
But if you're on the throughway and you stop for gas, you just like after you get the gas, you just stand there like that, just wait for the kick in the balls, don't you?
Well, the thing is, I didn't need gas, but I needed to pee.
Ah, see,
So I'm like, I'm
you
already
got
here.
gas while you're peeing. You're like, well,
So-
disposable income. I could chuck another few bucks at you, whatever.
Yeah. It was more of a so I could tell the tale if I paid $4.59 and I was all pissed off about it, you know. But now that's becoming like normal. Like I paid $4.20 at Costco last week, and that was like you'd wait in line forever for that.
Bullshit.
But but back to that rest area. So it's not the first one you hit on the throughway, the big one. It's that next one. They had the whole regular part closed, but the gas was open.
Oh, really?
You know that I don't know if you remember that first one. I think it's the Modena one.
Not
We used to go there sometimes. Not the very first one, like down in Sloatsburg. That like the first big one after that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're redoing that. Whatever. This is not part of the story that matters. I'm just talking about gas prices. Gas is obviously like I don't know. Is there a solution? Are any of these geniuses in government going to fix our problem? Most likely not. They're all
There's a
just
lot of
taking their
talk,
cut.
but there's no solution, and you're not going to realize that there's not a solution until like a few weeks later.
Yeah.
And it's going to really bite us in the ass.
Yeah, and you can blame the war for some reason. You can blame our current president. You can blame our past
Blame
president.
anybody you want.
Blame anybody you want.
Doesn't
You know
mean
what?
it's the
It doesn't
truth.
fix it. You're still going to fucking pay. That's just
right.
where we're at right now.
Yeah.
But now think about this. If we are going into this inflation cycle and that leads us to a recession, like I don't think we've had like that sort of economic setup. I don't think has ever happened before.
Well, the
Or maybe it
last
hasn't happened since
recession,
the
there
late
was an
40s.
inflation, right?
It wasn't as bad. It wasn't as pronounced as it is now.
But
I mean, there were certain areas. I think it was. I remember because like 2007, 8, gas started going up again pretty high, but it was pretty much just gas. It
Just
wasn't
gas,
like everywhere.
right.
It wasn't like meat went up like 40% like it is now.
It was like a fuel crisis while we were having recession, not everything else is hard. Like 'cause
Bingo.
now it's everything, groceries,
Everything in groceries. Yeah. Electricity, like again, anything fuel related. And of course, you know, when you look at groceries, like how are the groceries getting to the store? They're not growing cows on the top of a ShopRite in New Jersey. No,
Yeah.
they have to go and, you know, the
everybody's
meat
like, oh,
processing plants.
you should be on electric. Yeah, I'm on electric. You know what? I'm on electric everything in this house. You know what? My bill's fucking astronomical every month. It's
Yeah.
horrible.
And if you think about it, when you talk about skiing, I mean, what is the bad rap that skiing has had over the last couple of years? Is that, I mean, probably forever, that it's elitist. You have to be rich to do it. What do you think a recession, inflation is going to do to the industry? I mean, it's already been kind of
back to being elitist again.
It's going to be just way more pronounced, way more. I mean, how many families are going to be able to go now? If it's going to cost you twice as much in gas, and say you do 2, 3, 4 trips a year, you know, 3-hour trips, and you're going looking at those numbers, going, you know, we're not going to spend that money on gas because I'm going to get a hotel, which of course will be more expensive. Food's going to be more expensive. Lift tickets are definitely going to go up because look at everything else related to a ski resort. How do you run a chairlift? You need diesel fuel. How about running a snowcat? What do you think that uses? Magical fairy queefs? No, it uses goddamn diesel fuel like everything else. Yes, we know Piston Bully makes an electric. How many resorts are able to pop out $600,000-$700,000 for a brand new electric snowcat when they have a regular, finely functioning diesel snowcat?
How environmentally friendly is it to take a perfectly working snowcat, chuck it right in the landfill because we have an electric one? Nobody's going to do that. That's ridiculous.
Especially now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be very tricky. And then snowmaking. I mean, how do you think those cannons run? What do they even run on? Is it like, I don't even know. I'm actually asking that question. Are they electric? Are they
the fairy queefs? They run
diesel powered fairy queefs, obviously.
No, but I really think like you got a point. Like, so skiing was like an elitist sport for a reason. It was difficult to get to. There wasn't a lot of easy ways to do like a ski vacation, right? It was hard to get into, you know, cost of entry, all that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Over the years, like it's come down in terms of price and availability. It's been available and the pricing has been more comparable to where people are like, hey, you know, I could do a ski vacation and it's not so out of the realm of where I have to spend for like another type of vacation, right? It's activity, the whole thing. I think if with inflation and just maybe earnings getting hit and people's pocketbooks, like, your wallet's getting hit harder. You're like, I can't spend this money on a ski. I can't see doing it. We're gonna go. You tell your family we're gonna do something else for this vacation. We're not going skiing. So I almost think like it may get it back to being an elitist sport or a pastime because the availability and the disposable income needed to go do it. That's a little bit of a fear, to be honest.
Because that's, again, for most normal people, skiing is like
it's a
one of those
luxury.
it's a luxury. It's a luxury. It's one of those activities that if you had to cut something out of your life, you're like, yeah, this is like, I like going on my once a season trip. I'm going to cut
Right.
that out. That's the first, easy to lop off our list.
Yeah.
People like us who love the sport, it's part of a very significant part of our life. Like, we're not going to be the ones that are doing that. We will find a way to sacrifice to make it happen.
Yeah.
But how is that gonna? And again, people who can just say, no big deal, I can afford it. The ones, think about it, you have an Escalade. You live in Connecticut. You're driving up to Vermont every week, every other weekend. Like, what are you dropping in gas that the average person could never spend?
Yeah. It's all about too where you're going to spend your money, right? Things get tighter. People are like, maybe I don't need a ski vacation, but I need a vacation. So I'll drive somewhere, maybe do a few extra days at the beaches or do something like tropical or whatever. But skiing, maybe that takes a back seat, you know?
And again, I would not be surprised if we see some small local independent mountains just go, we can't afford to open this year. We can't afford to run the lifts. We can't get staff.
That would be horrible. Yeah.
I guarantee you we're going to see some because again, the cost of operating is just getting too high. I mean, ski resorts are working on super tight margins to begin with on the best years. And this season, a lot of spots did not get the best snow. I mean, look at the story we just talked about in Colorado, the lack of snowpack. That affected a lot of places. I know in the Northeast, a lot of spots had to shut down early. Not Jay Peak. They just closed like this past weekend because they had a great year. But Jay Peak is a special place and it's super, super far north. But most places didn't have that luxury. They were on kind of below that rain line where places way up north got snow and a lot of them further south got rain. So if you're coming off a bad season, let's not say bad, let's say marginal at best. Because again, we saw a lot of those weird COVID leftover effects earlier in the season that kind of dissipated and kind of went away later in the season. Shorter season. Now you're going into recession and much higher inflation operating costs. That's going to be a tough nut for these guys to make next season. Maybe we won't see it this upcoming season, maybe the season after. That's when we see the places shut down. But this does bring up a great point about backcountry and skinning and earning your turns. If you're still doing that, say the resort shuts down. It's public land, though. You got your skins, you hop on, you can still do your thing. That's the beautiful thing about skiing and about people who do love the sport and have ways to enjoy it that maybe
it's still going to be there unchanged if you're doing that.
It's still a giant hill and it's still got snow on it.
Right.
So you can
the volume of people in the ski industry. So you got to think about the repercussions of that, right? So if you can't bring as many people into skiing, you don't sell the merchandise, you don't have the sales in volume that you had, right? So now you have to run leaner and meaner. You can't run with all this, maybe not all this emerging technology, maybe not all the options that you used to have, right? It kind of gets narrowed down because of supply and demand. You're like, why am I going to create, 5 different types of skis this season when 2 will do? I can make my nut and that's it. We're gonna see decreased sales, right? So it's the ski equipment, the apparel, the ski resorts. Like, so I wonder the ski resorts, like, what would be interesting to monitor would be, do the local ski areas get the lion's share versus people going on a week long and traveling far, right? So are you getting a lot of out of state visitors or are you getting local, right? Like, because that's kind of, that's going to be a question too. Like, is it drivable or is it where you're flying into a place and going to some big baller ski vacation.
Yeah, for sure.
Because then it might change the way people think. Are they going for, hey, I only want 2 weeks of skiing this year at 2 baller places versus, getting a ton of different days in at a local ski area.
And this is going to test my real estate thesis too, because, we've talked about in the past how insane ski town real estate is. And over the last 2 or 3 years, there's been the big boom because of the super low interest rates of interest rates, wine's kicking in. People are buying up properties and Airbnb-ing them out. Now what happens if you bought these places and people are not coming to your Airbnb?
Right.
Or are these places are people going to be like, I got to sell this place, or are they going to offer discounted rates? I mean, this is going to test a lot of people's fortitude in terms of being investors, especially with things like Airbnbs. Because it always because you go on any of those real estate blogs, it is so easy. You get 100% return. Just buy the place and put on Airbnb. Everything will be amazing.
Yeah.
Now we're going to see who's got the balls to actually stick through with this, because I think a lot of people.
Here's the concern, right? So you're either buying at the high right now, or you've bought and you're holding on, but now you might not have as much traffic going through and saying, hey, I want to rent, or, so are we going to see an influx of these places that go to foreclosure? Is it going to drop the market? Everybody's worried about like a housing bubble, saying, oh, housing keeps going up and up. I'm in Tampa. It's like one of the hottest markets in the nation right now. It's insane. Like, an apartment that used to go for like $1,000 or $1,200 a month is now going for like $3,000 a month. Yeah. Like it's that much of a difference. It's crazy. So I kind of wonder, like, is the inflation and the cost, like the cost and investment of traveling for a ski vacation, going to cause the drop in a housing bubble in the ski areas, if not everywhere else, right?
I think a lot about this, and I think the Airbnb people are in trouble. I think those are the ones that they would sell. But the smart people who are very wealthy and own the houses for personal use, they probably all refinanced under 3% in the last 2 years and are going to be sitting pretty. But again,
unless
I think
they couldn't afford it in the first place, and then they're still.
But I'm talking about the smart, wealthy people who are like,
and that
the Aspen people, the Vail people. Yeah,
right.
Not everybody. Again, that's not everybody. A lot of people are absolutely stupid or did.
But think about it. It might be, you're talking about numbers that might be 30 or 40% of like a housing in an area. Like, that's a lot, It's not like a 10 or 20%. So let's say it's 30 or 40% that go to bankruptcy. Like, that's a lot. It affects the housing and everything. But
I mean, it would right a lot of the kind of bubbly values over the last couple of years in a lot of the big ski areas. But will it happen? Who knows? I mean,
all I say is save your money and scoop in when it drops. Boom.
It's easy to say. It's just who's got the balls to do it. That's
Dude, that place used to sell for $2 million. Jackson Hole drops to like $500,000.
You
gotta swoop in,
baby.
Yeah. Boom,
dude. I was looking at I looked at, I think it was Wilson, which is kind of the town right on the way to Jackson. There was like a dump. It was like a dumpy house that if you were in Vermont, would be, say you were right by like Magic, you were like by Londonderry or like Bromley, that area, that house would be 300,000-400,000.
All right.
It was $3 million.
Damn.
$3 million for a dumpy house.
Damn.
But you're in Wilson. You're 15 minutes from Jackson Hole Mountain Resort. 10 minutes from Snow King. And you get those beautiful Wyoming tax rates, which are like nothing.
But it's funny, people talk about like, oh, it got so expensive, so we moved outside of Teton Village into Jackson. Then they moved out of Jackson into Wilson. Like, so it's kind of like they migrated because of the cost, right? So now if it changes, do the people that are living in Wilson move to Jackson
No.
Jackson people move,
No,
like
you're moving to Idaho.
everybody starts switching or what
No,
happens?
you got to move to Idaho. That's the only move. Like that's the next spot because, well, was it
Or are the
Alpine?
people on the mountains saying, I can get a great place in New York City for cheap. I'm moving there.
They're like, man,
a reverse exodus.
I'm sick of the whole Jackson Hole lifestyle. I'm gonna move
I'm sick
into
of skiing
Chelsea.
and being in the outdoor. That's right.
Yeah. I want to live in Soho now. No one
I'm
does
sure
that.
New York City would want to have that, but
Have you
I don't
noticed
think
that
that's going to happen.
nobody does that? Nobody leaves a big city. Like nobody leaves the mountains and it's like, yeah, I'm gonna go live back in a little crammed, shitty, overpriced, loud, disgusting apartment.
Think of how hilarious it would be if I said to you, like, Brian, dude, I'm going to move to the big city. I'm going to have traffic every day. I'm going to have a shitty little apartment. Crime's going to be up. It's going to be awesome.
I'm psyched.
You'd look at me, but like, you have to be committed to a mental ward.
If you can make it there, you'll make it anywhere. It's up to you. Jackson Hole. Jackson Hole. Yeah. I don't know, man. We'll see. There's going to be some crazy stuff happening. Again, I don't know if it's going to hit this year, going to hit next year, but it's something that ski resorts, ski towns really need to start thinking about now because things could get messy later this year.
And quickly,
Yeah.
I don't think anything's going to happen slow. It's going to be like, holy shit, everything just changed overnight.
Yeah. Just buy an electric car. It'll be fun.
Oh, yeah. Lightning's up 4-3.
The Lightning do not want to be eliminated tonight.
156 left in OT. So
by the time you're listening to this podcast, you will already know the outcome of the series. It'll be done.
That's right. Be done.
Right now, we're living in the moment, which is pretty sweet.
We're living in the past to you, but we're living in the present right now. See, just saying.
We're like a time machine.
It's a time machine.
So if
audio
you,
time machine.
So if you have any thoughts or ideas or you want to share what you think you're watching out for or you're looking at, hit us up with an email at skibumpodcast@gmail.com. And we'll keep talking about this throughout the summer and into the ski season. But
I'll just be glad to see an end to like Instagram posts that I know mean nothing that people just put out there to say, hey, look at me, I'm living a great life. I just want everybody to show their regular life, who they really are on all social media. That's what I want.
Who wants to see that?
I want to see the boring thing. I want people to be boring. Be who you are, not who you think you are.
Be your boring loser self and own it.
That's right.
There you go. I think with that, we should take a quick little trip
under the ropes.
Boom. We're doing an old school episode with some fun stories.
Boom.
So this is kind of funny. This could have been ski news.
You want me to get this one or you get this one? I think you want to end up with the last. The last one is on.
We got two stories. I want the last one. All right, start us off.
All right. So the first one, study finds cleaner air leads to more Atlantic hurricanes.
What?
Now, I believe this because if there's dirty air out there, it's not hurricaning. It's just kind of black. It's just like dark and gloomy. But I don't know. They're saying cleaner air in the United States and Europe is brewing more Atlantic hurricanes. A new U.S. government study found. But this is U.S. government study. You can't trust this. This is
fake news.
I don't know.
Totally fake news.
So NOAA, the NOAA study. So it was a NOAA study. I like NOAA. It links changes in regionalized air pollution across the globe to storm activity going both up and down. 50% decrease in pollution, particles, and droplets in Europe and the U.S. is linked to a 33% increase in Atlantic storm formation in the past couple of decades, while the opposite is happening on the Pacific Rim with more pollution and fewer typhoons. So what the fuck?
So basically, we should be polluting.
Yeah, so they're polluting the shit out of things, and everything's fine for them, and we're trying to clean it up, and we're getting killed.
So that's really, but isn't that just kind of every one of these climate arguments? There's just, hey man, if we do this, this will be better. It's like, hey, did you ever think that there is always a other side of the coin to every single one of these fucking arguments, whether it's climate change or fracking or coal? Like there's always a positive and a negative. Now granted, they could be different percentages. It could be a 90-10, it could be a 60-40, it could be a 50-50, but there is always a negative or positive consequence to every good or bad thing that's done. And the fact that some people are just, well, we have to do this, otherwise this will happen. It's like there's positives and negatives. Saying there's more carbon in the air. Doesn't carbon also lead to more plants? There's like more green than there ever was because of the carbon. Like, again, I'm not saying I'm a climate scientist. I don't know anything, but there is always positives and negatives. Nothing is clear cut.
See, what kills me is you hit it right on the head. You said you're not a climate scientist, and you accept that.
I need more data. I don't know anything.
But there are people that are out on social media, out there in your face, telling you what to do, that are not scientists in any way, shape, or form, have not even slept at a Holiday Inn or talked to a scientist, and they're going to tell you what to do for the next 10 or 15 years because they got a fucking crystal ball and they know what you should do to make things happen.
I support the current thing.
I'm just saying, everybody wants to hide behind this bullshit idea that they threw out there with COVID, saying, follow the science. Okay, follow the science, the real science, not the science that you want to manipulate to bend to your will.
Science is settled.
I mean, if you want to take data and manipulate it, you can make it say whatever you want it to say.
Dude, the science is never settled, except for like gravity. I think we've kind of like, but hey, you know what? If someone came out tomorrow and is like, hey man, I friggin' undid gravity, I'd be like, wow, cool that you did that. Like this is the new normal, But everything is up for debate. Everything in the scientific realm, everything's up for debate.
Some things are for debate. Other things in scientific community. Now, this is where the fake stuff comes in.
Everything is up for debate unless you're an asshole.
Exactly. So a lot of people like, if you're debating, you're racist, you're this, you're that. No. If you're debating, you're being scientific and it's a good thing.
Let's be honest.
Everything.
Let's be honest. If you throw out the term, if you say someone's a racist, a misogynist, before you have a debate, all you're telling me is that you don't have the data, the facts, or the evidence to back up your argument, and you don't want to have that debate. You just want to throw a bomb and get out of there. You are not willing to discuss things. You're not willing to take in new information. You have planted your flag, no matter how wrong you are. You've decided. And you know what? That's dangerous. That's idiotic.
See, the best thing is you take a sip of your bourbon, have a nice pull on your cigar, and you look the other guy right in their eye and you say, let me mansplain it to you.
Yeah. Hey, listen up here, sweetheart.
Let me mansplain it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucked up. But anyway, so China,
though?
India, all the places that are just polluting the shit out of things. Everything's fine over there. It's getting nicer and dirtier and whatever. No typhoons. Yeah. But over here, it's no good deed goes unpunished, right? That's what it is.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
We're out here working and cleaning and doing a bunch of shit. I really get pissed off. So we were talking about this earlier. And so, of course, today, like this whole week, I'm off between jobs before I start my new gig. And I'm going to be an oceanographic like person that cleans up. No, I'm not. But I was watching something on History Channel. They're talking about at the time, it was the 4th largest freshwater lake in Russia that they basically drained.
Well, the 4th largest in the world, right?
In the world.
That was in Russia.
Yeah. And they basically siphoned it away, and it's a desert now because they wanted to grow cotton.
The Aral Sea.
Yeah, which they grew cotton with a lot of pollutants, which actually like created this whole system where everything that went back into the Aral Sea was all polluted, killed all the fish, like killed like a lot of like the ecosystem. Like it killed. Think about the 4th largest freshwater. What is the 4th largest now? Is it one of the Great Lakes? Like where does that stand? Like it's like you talk about magnitude of like destroying the earth. Like that was done back in like the 60s, and people brush it under the rug. Nobody gives a shit. And the reason I'm getting to that is we're doing a good job. Like everybody's on top of things here. When are we going to go after Russia and China and some of these other countries that are just polluting the shit out of the earth still?
That's the thing that always I never got. People like, hey man, if we do this and if we do this, it's like you do realize the two biggest, well, I guess China is definitely number 1 in pollutants. I think
Oh.
we're number 2. India is like 3 or 4. India is way up there too. And the crazy stat about India is think about the United States, just like the contiguous United States. India is a third of the size, but has 3 times the population.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that a crazy way to think about that?
That is pretty nuts.
Crazy. So here we go. 10 largest lakes in the world. Apparently the Caspian Sea is a lake.
Huh.
The biggest.
All right. But
Lake
that was in Little Mermaid. So isn't that a sea?
Under
I'm
the
joking.
sea. Number 2, Lake Superior. Victoria Lake. Lake Huron. So Lake Huron got to move up from 5 to 4 because
Damn.
Russians wanted cotton.
So Lake Huron, picture draining that whole lake and making cotton. That's it. That's
It's
fucked
a
up.
big lake, man.
So you think about, I'm pestered by me putting a cup that's made out of paper into the right receptacle, whereas they're like, we don't give a shit about receptacles. We're just burning fucking forest right now. I don't know. There's a lot of things like, I think it's all good, but you really have to start hitting at the things that are going to make the biggest impact.
Yeah, and I think again, this like no good deed goes unpunished is like a perfect way to phrase that. There's always an effect, good and bad. There's yin and yang, there's ebb and flow. Like there's always some sort of other reciprocal action to doing.
And you got to call out what really is the problem, right? So we're a problem, right? We have problems and we're trying to address them, and we have awareness and stuff like that. But we also have to call out other countries, other people on the planet. Like we share the planet. Like, look, man, if we're sharing a room and you're pissing me off, I'm gonna smack you around till you get, back in line. But we're sharing a planet. Like, can't we smack people around? Like, I don't know. Give the goon hand.
Sanctions. Yeah.
Give a little goon hand once in a while.
The problem is we need aliens to come down to kind of freak us all out to join together, sadly.
Yeah, if aliens came down, I think we'd all be fucked. What do you think?
I don't know. I think aliens probably have been here and they're just kind of watching us. Like look at these knuckleheads. Like almost if you had like when you have like a fish tank, you watch your fish, you're like, oh, look at that fish. What the hell is he doing to that fish? Like he's killing that fish. Like, should I do something? You're like, yeah, let's see how it plays out.
How about those movies that are like, oh no, aliens came down, we set you up, and we want you to like breed and everything because we're gonna harvest you later.
That's always a possibility. You never know.
That's a messed up thing. We're gonna let you get to a point where just before you kill, so we just come in and just harvest everything you got, the earth, people, everything.
I think if aliens figured,
like cattle.
Let's be honest, if aliens figured all that out already, like they're probably way more advanced and don't even need to do that.
I know we're like throwing poop at each other, and they're like they don't even know what they're doing. Look at them;
Yeah.
they're silly little idiots.
So the little pink monkeys. Yep,
that's it. Just running around the earth thinking they're superior.
Well, speaking of superior and wacky,
yes, this is perfect segue.
How about Putin? He is seen with blotches on his cheeks after skipping his beloved ice hockey game. Every year, his beloved game, the Night Hockey League game, in which he had been expected to compete, he had to send a video message.
Was he averaging like 10 or 12 goals a game?
Lighting the lamp every single time. So anyway, he sent a message and he says, I wish you good luck in your ice battles and all the best. And as they say, may the best win. And there has been some speculation about his health because he has these dark blotches on his cheeks that may have been masked by makeup.
Oh, I thought it was just because he was a little bitch in general.
Whoa. That was Mario speaking. That was not Brian. That was Mario speaking.
That's right, Putin.
That's right.
That's an act of aggression as a person of aggression.
It says a Moscow source told the news outlet that the amateur game was always a firm date in Putin's diary and added that something must be wrong for him to be a no-show.
His diary. Dear Vladimir, I had a...
Dear diary, I saw Nadia today. She winked at me. Regional Cuban News, Kuban, Kuban, looks like Cuban, but with a K. Kuban News reported that it had been expected that Vladimir Putin, the greatest player of all time, would also play for
Greatest
Legends
player
of
of all
Hockey.
time.
But in early May, the press secretary of the president of the Russian Federation, Dmitry Peskov, announced that the head of state would not take part in the game.
You know, this is the nail in this asshole's coffin. He's going to listen to this, and his KGB guys are like, you have to listen to these assholes talk about you.
They talk shit. They go
They
to
talk-
Gulag.
They talk a lot of shit. Send them to Gulag. No, they're in America.
Like,
Oh,
wait.
damn it.
Did you hear part about Skank Tank? I like Skank Tank.
I
Very
like-
nice.
Very nice. Let's do idea for Skank Tank.
Whoa, Skank Tank.
I could see Putin doing Skank Tank. Skank Tank, Sexy Dance, and then the MMA team fighting.
Perfect.
Goddamn, Skank Tank. You could have the power hour. A half hour Skank Tank, half hour of MMA team fighting.
You could do worse.
Goddamn.
You could
They
do
gotta come back.
There are worse hours of entertainment, that's for sure.
I got to
this is
get back
only-
to MMA team fighting. I
this
love
is-
that thing.
Only the second time in history of the gala matches since 2012 that the president is missing this game. The outlet added, according to East to West, in 2013, he held the symbolic face-off and watched the match from the stands. Putin's no-show on that occasion was reportedly blamed on health issues. Set up in 2011, the Night Hockey League is made up of former NHL stars, oligarchs, and politicians. Putin, a judo black belt who has often displayed his athletic prowess, boasted in 2021 that ice hockey provided him longevity and used his appearance at the annual game to squelch rumors about his health.
He rides horses with no shirt on.
Beefy. You extend your life, you make it of better quality and deeper meaning, he said, according to East to West. The outlet also speculated that another reason Putin skipped the game was security concerns. A military...
The alleged Skank Tank he was invested in. He was caught in the Skank Tank.
Yep. Well, imagine like some Ukrainian guy, like some guy who's like got like Ukrainian roots and like doesn't tell it, just like boards him, like cross checks him into the boards. Or it's like taking his skate off and like cutting him. You never know.
I'd love to see that. Just somebody just pissed off, like, you sent my family to the gulag.
Yeah.
We take you out.
A military flyover at Moscow's Red Square was canceled amid claims the Russian leader was concerned about an aerial strike at the annual Victory Day parade, where he was spotted sitting with a heavy blanket across his legs and also appeared to be limping. Questions about Putin's physical health has grown after he was recently seen looking swollen and awkwardly gripping a table for support, and a clip from a meeting with Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu that was released by the Kremlin. He also
but that's good, right? He was swole.
He was swole. He also appeared unsteady during an Orthodox Easter service in Moscow, though some reports have suggested he wasn't even there and that the video was doctored by the Kremlin.
Oh.
And now you got a former UK member saying that he's got Parkinson's. Like, there's all kinds of crazy crap going on in the world of Putin.
He's got Skank Tankitis, I think.
I don't know. It's crazy. He misses the hockey game though. That's a big thing. Like, I don't know what that means. Now, again, he is one of the most amazing hockey players ever, obviously based on his like 6 or 7 goals he scores every time. There's a crazy story about, now I heard this on the Joe Rogan
state
podcast.
funded and controlled, right? Game.
Yes. Kim Jong-il apparently, like, because of how ridiculous the Ministry of Information was.
Yeah.
They claimed that the first time that Kim Jong-il played golf. So this is Kim Jong-un's dad, one who died like a bunch of years ago. The first time Kim Jong-il.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. Back in 1994, he played his first round of golf and shot a 38 under par 34.
He's amazing. Guy's freaking amazing. We didn't see that. It's that went right in the hole, didn't it?
According to reports, Kim, who was 52 at the time, carded no worse than a birdie on any hole at the country's only golf club. He also had 5 holes in one in the round, which was witnessed by 17
Five.
armed bodyguards.
Oh, that's awesome. 5, another hole. Yep, that's exactly it.
This guy's just canning out, man.
Oh, that's
Was this
freaking
miniature
hilarious.
golf, baby?
Well, there's that whole story. Like, I gotta say, it's years back now. Probably, I think it was Kim Jong Il days, if not right when he just passed. Remember they ran a whole story and like video and everything of how America tried to invade them and they beat them down and they showed it in movie theaters there. Like it was a whole
Yeah.
freaky thing. And I'm like, how does this go by? Like I laughed, but then I saw something on like, I don't know, Dateline or 2020 or whatever. And they were talking about like how like people are like, it's all state media. Like, so they don't even control their TV. It just goes on like, and that's what's on. Like,
Well, just remember how completely insane that is. And think about that every time you hear any story in the media today.
how different
Because
is
if-
that from social media?
I've heard,
Feeding you.
I heard a great quote, and I have no idea who originally said it, but it says, if you think the news is fake, just think about history.
Everybody's rewriting history.
History is written by the victors, always.
Exactly. Of course.
Yep. Just something to ponder and think about. But yes, if you want to know what excellence is, it's Vladimir Putin in hockey and Kim Jong Il in golf.
Damn.
So now you've got your bars that have been set that you can try to match your excellence in.
So Tiger Woods couldn't even beat that guy. Like in his heyday, Tiger Woods in his prime, King Jong Il.
Well, it's funny. There's a quote in this article that says, good thing for Tiger Woods and his contemporaries that Kim spent most of his time serving and murdering his people, because clearly he would have ruled the PGA Tour too.
If he had time, he would have gone on to the circuit and
If he had time not feeding and murdering his own people, he would definitely had time dominating the PGA Tour.
Of course.
Like, it's unbelievable. Again, this happens when government gets too much power, people.
I would
Power
love to
to
see him.
the people.
I would love to see him get the shit beat out of him by the Williams sisters in tennis. How about that? Or not even in tennis, just outside of the tennis court, just beat his ass.
Well, sorry to tell you this too. I forget which one of the Williams sisters played like the 100 ranked guy. Guy whooped their ass.
Yeah, but they're past the prime. I don't know. Still,
Hey, ladies.
King Jong Il or Putin. I think Putin would get schooled.
Did you see
not
Elon
schooled,
Musk?
you
Elon Musk like wanted
What?
to fight Putin.
Yeah, that'd be great.
No,
Who do you think
Elon
would
like
win
called
in
him
that?
out. He's like, so Elon called out Putin and said, "I want to fight." Now,
Yeah, but is Elon a good fighter? I don't know.
No, but he's big. Like Elon's like a big dude. He's like 6'2", 6'3".
Putin was
Putin's-
ex-KGB. That's the only thing I don't know about. The
he is a
training
black
shit.
belt in judo.
Yeah.
too. Like
That
he's
might
like
be legit. That might be the
no,
only
it is
legit.
legit. Like there's
Yeah.
I've seen videos of him. He's like a legit judo. But if Elon had like 6 months to train,
Yeah.
being
then
I
maybe.
mean, he's probably at least 8 inches taller and probably at least 60 pounds
Dude,
heavier.
I saw Rocky IV. Putin would take the Drago steroid thing and get all jacked and be able to punch like 8 million pounds.
Drago averages 1,850 pounds.
That's right. I saw
I've watched that movie
I know.
a few too many times.
I know how that shit works. They
Mhm.
they inject him. He runs around that circle, inject him, and he punches that thing. That's it.
If I could change, and you could change, everybody could change. Fucking
And that-
Rocky tore down the Berlin Wall, destroyed
that-
communism.
But that was like that Drago montage was the evil montage. So they had 2 montages in that movie. They had the Drago evil montage, and then they had the
But it was
Rocky.
at the same time. It was a double montage
It
at the
was
same time. And the song,
It was a
Training
montage.
Montage. The song was called Training Montage.
Boom.
Dun, dun, dun,
It was a
dun, dun,
duontage.
dun. Oh,
It
I
was
get
a
goosebumps
duontage.
thinking about that song. That's
Yeah,
how badass it was.
that's good.
Vince DeMola was the
Vince
producer of that track.
and Adrian, the whole thing that pisses me off about that whole thing. Adrian sits there and then she says, "Win, Rocky," and then he goes and beats everybody up. It's like, Come on, man. You couldn't have been on his corner to start. He's getting in a ring. You realize he's going to get punched. Like, come on, man. Come on.
Like, you're the
Come on.
beneficiary on his will. Like, you're gonna be all right there, Adrian.
Just piss me off. Like, come on, man. You could have saved just like 10 minutes of him getting his ass beat by just saying, "Hey, Rocky, I want you to win. I'm not going to be mad at you anymore."
Well, it's so funny when you watch something like a Rocky and you watch like a real boxing. As a kid, you're like, "Whoa!" He's like just standing there, like his face out. He's like, boom, boom. He's like, "Come on, come on,
come on!" And then he winds up and he hits the other guy. It's like it never happens like that.
He would be dead.
You stay still. I gotta punch you, and then I'll stay still. You punch me.
Like, you watch a fight and a guy's like in on a guy and like hits some like quick uppercut and like he's out cold. Let alone like a guy that much bigger and gigantic, 850 pounds, like just winding up full bore and hitting you in the face. Like, it's just so ridiculous. The slow motion.
No, his jaw would have fallen off right now. 800 pounds. He's dead.
That said, the movie is fantastic. I don't care what you say. Love Rocky.
Great movie. You want to get back into working out? You watch Rocky.
Dude.
Rocky 3 is awesome. Rocky 3 and 4. 3 is clever. Mr.
Yeah.
P, that's one.
Hey, woman. Hey, woman.
You want yourself a man? You come over to my place. You shut up. You know what I'm talking about.
I had a tiger. Great goddamn movie. But yeah, 4. If you're looking for training, that's if you want to get jacked.
All Clubber said in that one was,
yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
But just make sure you have a Paulie when you go into training.
Beat his.
You gotta have a Paulie.
He's another one. Like,
useless.
Guy, useless.
Like, what a hanger on that guy was. So Paulie is actually Adrian's brother, right?
Yeah.
That's what it is. Okay. Always like he's a degenerate gambler, like always drunk. Like,
little fun fact: my dad knew who he was, didn't know him personally, but he was a carpet installer.
Really?
Yeah.
Burt Young?
That's how he started out, carpet installing.
Look at that.
So when he used to come around the old carpet installer's warehouse once in a while, my dad would be like, "Oh, it's like a celebrity is here." I was like, "Yeah, he's not that great of a celebrity."
His real name is Gerald Tommaso DeLuise, but he goes by Burt Young. Young. Still alive. Born in 1940 in Queens, still alive.
I want to know where he installed carpet. Let's see.
82 years old, Burt Young. Still working. Paulie Panino. So I guess Adrian's original last name, her maiden name is Panino. Did you know that? I didn't.
That's like panini. It's
like a panini, but it's an Italian panini. So the panino.
It's like, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Not bad.
He was in some real movies though, man. He was in Chinatown, The Pope of Greenwich Village.
Yeah.
Once Upon a Time in America. Back to School.
Back to School. I remember him. He was his bodyguard.
And he was in the documentary film Stallone. Frank, that is. And he gets appearance on The Sopranos.
Boom.
Look at that.
Of course.
Look at that.
Bada bing, bada bang. He's on The Sopranos. He
was in the Marines, became a professional boxer, compiled a 17-0 record under Customato. Look at that. That was Tyson's trainer.
Damn. I was going to whip his ass first, but he beat me to it.
Look at that. I did not know that. And I see no mention of his carpet installation history.
Damn it. See, that's bullshit.
He's embarrassed.
You think Mike Tyson can install some carpet?
Dude, he would. If it was a weed carpet, he'd smoke it.
Whose ass? What is the top ass that Mike Tyson could whoop right now? I think
anyone out of the top 20. I think
him or Vladimir Putin. I give Putin one round and he's done.
Putin wouldn't survive one hit. Now, well, is it MMA
or
is it boxing? That's a big difference. Because if you got the MMA, you got the judo.
Dude, we're getting Putin in a ring with Tyson. It's all no holds barred. This fight to the death. It's Thunderdome.
Dude,
there's nothing.
Tyson gets one shot on his mushy Alzheimer's freaking brain. He's going to knock him out. He's going to kill him.
I think Tyson rips his jugular out with his teeth.
Dude, Tyson would literally kill him with one shot.
Yeah, if he was mad. If
Dude,
he's
Putin's
all,
almost.
if he's all Mike
Dude, he's like
Tyson all-
70.
Yeah, he could probably break.
And have you seen Mike lately? He's looking. He can still do. I mean, he's obviously not hitting like he was when he was in his 20s.
I don't think Mike's as angry as he was though. I think
He's
he could
he's
muster
fighting-
that anger.
If he was fighting Putin,
Oh, he'd kill him. He'd muster that anger.
one shot, done, dead. He'd be dead. Yep.
Dead. Mike Tyson, if you listen to this, we want to get you and Putin in the ring.
We'll promote it. We'll
To the
promote it.
death. To death on Fuck Island or something like that. Reuse that place. It's there for something.
Yeah. That fire was the fire festival at that place.
That's it.
Perfect.
Boom. Boom. Loser
I like
gets
it.
burnt. That's it. We
I'm in.
light the loser up. The real Burning Man. Just freaking burn the loser up in flame. The celebration to the loser.
I'm in. All right. Well, I guess that wraps up the old podcast for the week. Thanks so
Sounds
much
like it
for
does.
listening. Please check us out, skibumpodcast.com. Go to your favorite social media apps, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Untapped. We are at Skibum Podcast. Send us an email, skibumpodcast@gmail.com. Go to the site, skibumpodcast.com/shop. YouTube, we're out there too. You can watch our smiley, adorable faces. Thank you again for listening, and we'll talk to you guys probably next week.
Stay high, stay fluid.
See ya.